Peace fam. Hi, I'm Uju. I am here in the lab with the beautiful, the intuitive, the graceful Clara.
Hello.
Yes, yes. yes. And we're having a beautiful conversation. What we talking about, sis?
Woo!
Bring us back.
Ego deaths,
Ooh, Lord.
reveals, upheavals, transitions,
And sis is deep, y'all.
Rebirth and renewals, and people not being real with themselves.
Ooh, being real with themselves. Okay, there we go. Here, can you hold the phone? Can you hold the phone? And this is so refreshing because we just here vibing and it's very synergetic. And it's just a beautiful thing. So we were talking earlier about people not what was it, not accepting themselves?
Yeah, and the decisions you make around not accepting yourself, how it's detrimental to yourself, your community, but like,
okay.
Like if they do something that you could possibly take personal, how it's not always needed to retaliate, because what's the point?
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Ooh. Okay, so there was a lot of layers to what we even said. I guess we could just cap on what we summarize what we said, because there was a lot of layers. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned
there's a lot.
What did you just say just now? And I was like, oh, you was like, you can always tell when someone's been through a lot because they're so kind.
Yeah.
And they just don't be worried about the bullshit. Like, they be focused on something completely different. They be focused on peace. You know, like they're focused on, they vibe on a different level. And I told her, I agreed, because I'm like, truth be told, you really don't meet your light. You don't access your light until you have traveled through the depths of your shadows.
Yeah.
Like,
that's where you start to see your light.
You find yourself. Yes, that's where you find yourself. Yeah. Like, yes, you might be born with talents. You might be born with gifts. You might have raw abilities and stuff, and that's nothing. That's nothing compared to the level of groundedness and self-knowledge that you gain when you travel and navigate through the valley of your shadows.
Because you have to trust in something bigger than you sometimes. Yes. That's a part of, it's like this paradox.
All the time. At some point, you get to a point where you just submit. You know, like you get to a point. And so if you have not gotten to rock bottom, if you have not been to a point where you feel completely broken, and not broken as in, it could be hopeless, but it's to the point where you realize, you know what, I can't do nothing but just be in this situation. Like,
it forces you to.
I'm just going to pray and hope for a brighter day, because that's all I got right now. Yeah. And a lot of times we run from that space because, yes, it is uncomfortable. It hurts. It doesn't feel good. You know, however, the journey back to self is where your light is. Yes. And it is such a beautiful discovery when you find yourself and you connect with that I am that's within, right? Because then you get to a place where there's really nothing outside of you that can dictate who you are and how you show up to life. You know what I'm saying? And when we get to that point, that's when life becomes our oyster. Yeah. That's when we can call things into existence with no shake, nothing but confidence, nothing but conviction, because you know that you are,
and you have all the evidence,
right? And so the interesting thing is, a lot of people think you got to live on this earth and die and then go to heaven. No, but I do think you die to self. But you die in the valley of the shadow of death. Like, you die through those hard times and you find your light. You are reborn as a more expanded and purified version of yourself. And I think that's when you go through and then you really submit, because I think a lot of people project through ego. Yes. A lot of people kind of cover up and filter that experience through ego to try to save space. Or save face. But the interesting thing is, the more you do that, the more life will pull you into a situation where you need to be humbled. So if you're wondering, okay, I've been going through stuff and it's not like, when is it going to add up? Well, if you have not submitted to this situation yet, if you have not put your ego to the side and allow your spirit to take control, if you have not got into a place where it's like
it flows.
Yeah, you got to get into flow. You know,
there's
you
so many
really
obstructions trying to re-guide you. You keep
if you
forcing
still trying
yourself.
to strategize and make plans and control, if you still trying to control, then life is going to put you in a situation where you don't have any control.
A lot of us got control issues and don't know it.
Yes, a lot of us have control issues and don't know it. And the interesting thing is, when we learn to submit, and we learn to release and we learn practice the art of allowing and we learn to let life do what it does, then we don't have as much of those hard times. We're connected to the peace. And even if we're navigating circumstances that are uncomfortable, it's almost like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire.
That's one of my favorite stories.
You walk out of the situation unscathed, honey. You don't feel nothing because there's a fourth person in the fire. There's higher consciousness in the fire. And it really does protect you from the lower energies that can come from certain experiences, because it's not the experience that causes the energy. It's a part that's within us that gets triggered, that resonates with that experience.
What you were saying earlier is what you allow.
Exactly, it's what you allow.
Energetically, it's what you allow.
So if something outside of you is happening, you don't have to respond with anger.
You don't have to engage.
You don't have to respond with hatred. You don't have to respond with limitation. You can respond with love. You can respond with curiosity. You can respond with generosity. You can respond with grace. You feel me? And the ability to make that choice, that's the fourth person in the fire. That's the salvation. You feel me? That's where it's at. So, you got anything you want to share?
We've been going back and forth speaking, okay?
It's
but
she
be preaching.
It's for real. But I wanted to share that because it just goes to show how accessible peace really is, y'all. Peace is accessible to all of us. It is a matter of a decision. It's not about what the external circumstances are. No, it's how you choose to respond. And we always have a choice of how we choose to be, regardless. And when you learn to make that choice of who you're going to be, regardless of the external,
you have to choose you every day.
Practice your unfuckwittability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe in the law of unfuckwittability.
Me too.
I believe in that shit. And when you practice your ability to show up, when you make a resolve, no, this is I am who I am, and you say that and you show up to circumstances regardless of what it is, thank you, then that's when you practice your unfuckwittability. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Yes, family.
1,000%.
So yes, we just wanted to share that. And
preach on.
Amen, right?
Amen.
It's getting deep, and I'm grateful that we was able to share this moment. I thank Spirit for the ability to articulate it, because I think this is a very valuable message.
Yeah,
so if you watched it up until this point, please rewind it and watch it again and figure out how you can apply these principles to any circumstances you might be facing. Any situation that's compromising your peace right now, you can opt into peace. I need everybody to understand your level of sovereignty, right? You have the sovereignty already. Don't pray for it. Don't pray for your solution. Don't pray for peace. You are your peace. Choose it. Decide it today, right now, in any moment.
That's why we got free will, baby.
That's why we got free will. Straight up. Thanks for watching. Peace.